Shabbat Shalom. Please turn off your, or make silent your cell phones or anything that you else, like your beeper, if you still have a beeper. I am Diane Posner, and I serve on the board as your treasurer. Tonight's service will be led by Rabbi Carla Friedman. Adalia Bear will be lighting the Shabbat candles. There'll be no Torah service tonight, but we have a treat because the choir will be singing tonight. All right, let's see. Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by Ellen Block for her 75th birthday, and we're also celebrating Bud Rosenberg's 100th birthday. We have a lot of guests tonight. We have two new members, Pam Fisher and Fran Bodman. Are they here?
Yes, they are. Hooray!
Okay. And we have some guests of the Rosenzweigs, Ryan Rosenzweig, Travis Roon, Alex Rosenzweig, Jake Rosenzweig, and Kelly McLean. And please wave your hands. Okay? Okay. And we also have some guests from, that's Bud's relatives. David, and I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's, I think, a daughter or a wife or something.
A wife, something, one of those things.
Rosenberg. Yes, Glenn Rosenberg, a nephew, and Jake Jack Rosen. Is that Rosenberg or?
It was going to be. Yes.
Rosenberg, a great nephew. Richard Sheff.
That's over here. That's
yes. Raise your hands, please. Joanne Meyer, and Steve and Linda Berman.
Joanne and Richard are the family of Joe Sheff.
Oh, okay.
Who is Bud's senior and should be treated, therefore, with more respect than we give Bud.
I am speaking into the mic.
Which isn't hard, because we don't give Bud no respect.
I can't help it.
Bud.
We welcome you tonight and truly hope that you enjoy the service. I'll see you later.
Is that a promise or a threat?
No, it's a promise.
Oh, it's a promise. Okay. Yeah. Bud, do you have your hearing aids tonight? Ma nishtana halayla hazeh. I was hoping, Bud, when we got to this auspicious occasion.
I was so anxious to get here. It's a lucky thing I got dressed.
Lucky for whom? Let me tell you, we have an admissions policy here. You have to be wearing clothes. We're not all that particular past that, but you have to be wearing clothes. Ay, 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 ay. Well, I do need to warn you that I still have this thing that erupts in my throat every once in a while. And when that happens, I have absolutely no control. So just, carry on. And I'll get back to you when that passes. We're going to start the way we like to, with an opportunity to set aside the week. And I'm going to ask you to put your feet on the floor and your back against the chair. And I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath and let it go. And do that again, taking a deep breath and let it go. And one more time, taking a deep breath and let it go, and close your eyes. And now with your eyes closed and your body somewhat relaxed, I invite you to take this opportunity to think about being in the present moment. We spend a lot of our time worrying about what has already happened and worrying about what's going to happen. And Shabbat is our opportunity not to do those things. So what we want to do on Shabbat is concentrate on present, being present in the present moment. And I'm going to ask you to think about what the rest of Shabbat is going to be like for you. What are you doing for the rest of Shabbat? Whatever that is, how will you find a moment to connect again with being present in the present moment and not worrying about what happened or what will happen? Ask yourself what you're going to do to be able to do that over Shabbat. I'd like you to take in another very deep breath. Take it in and hold it and let it go. And do that again. Take in a very deep breath and hold it and let it go. And open your eyes. We begin our service this evening with music, as we like to, of course, and tonight we are once again blessed by the presence of the choir. The only thing I know about our opening piece of music is that it is entitled Shir HaMa'alot, but that's a problem, because that's not the name of a single piece of music. There are lots of pieces called Shir HaMa'alot, especially these are psalms. And so I don't know which one we're doing. Joan, do you know?
The one by Craig Taubman.
No, that's the arrangement.
The arrangement. That's the only one I know.
That's but you don't know
The only thing I know about it.
That's the only thing you know about it. So what is the?
He chopped off a ton of words.
Yeah, maybe. Can you tell me what some of the words are? Maybe I could figure it out that way.
It's only Shabbat Shalom, except for Umavorek, and that's it. That's it.
So this is not Shir HaMa'alot. We have to have a little chat about that later.
The second verse would do it.
Would have
Not
been.
doing the second.
Right, good. Why would we? Because it would be Shir HaMa'alot, and then we would. Of course not. Well, so instead, let's just sing it. I have nothing more to say.
We're making it nice and easy. It has a round in it, so it makes it nice.
Well, let's do it then.
Okay.
Okay. By the way, Shir HaMa'alot means song of ascents, going up, which is why I tell you that it's ascent, to ascend, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not Shir HaMa'alot. What's the temperature in here? Shabbat Shalom. Worked from is Psalm 126. Hey, when we can, we should. And that is actually a very popular piece, isn't it?
It is.
It's very popular. Yes, it's a lovely.
You're meant to sing along with us tonight.
Well, yes, because the choir is here to lead us in singing, but not to perform for us. We are supposed to be praying too. So, yes, by all means, participate. We're going to continue with a reading which is on the screen, which will be the introduction to the candle lighting, and Dahlia Bear is going to come up and do that. Oh, we have the those. We have the tall ones. Did we run out of the short ones? You didn't do it. We don't know. Yes.
O God, where can I find you? Your glory fills the world. Behold, I find you in the mind, free to sail by its own star, in words that spring from the depth of truth, where a scientist toils to unravel your world's secrets, where an artist makes beauty in your world, where men and women struggle for freedom, among the lonely and the poor, the lowly and the lost, wherever noble deeds are done. I find you in the merry shouts of children at play, in the mother's lullaby as she rocks her baby to sleep, in the sleep that falls on an infant's eyes, in the smile that falls on sleeping lips, and in the child as he grows to embrace a world of wonders, a world of fun and light, of laughter, dreams, radiance, and love.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You know about this, Gizmo, yeah. Got it.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshonu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehatlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And we're going to continue with Kiddush, which is on page 123 in the prayer book. The text is on the screen, and I invite the folks at home to lift a glass of wine and join us. And for those of you in the sanctuary, please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, Zikaron lemase v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta V'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Hashem. l'chaim. And we're going to continue with the singing of Lecha Dodi. It's on page 138 and 139 in the prayer book. And we're going to continue with the reading, which is on page 124 in the prayer book. It's on the screen as well, and this is a responsive reading. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May the love of all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
And that brings us to page 144. And Chatzi Kaddish, which tells us that we have come to the end of the introductory section of the service, and momentarily we will turn to the service proper. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, B'amad yivarach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayei chon uv'yomei uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, uvizman kariv, v'imeru, Yehi Shmei Rabba Mivarach, Le'alam Ulam Me'amaya. V'yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitaleh, v'yithalal, Shmei Dekudesha, Berichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran be'alma, v'meru. Please turn to page 146 or follow the text on the screen for the call to worship, the Barchu. Please rise. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Baruch hu et Adonai hamivorach. Baruch Adonai hamivorach leolam va'ed. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. And we continue with the reading which is on the screen, and it too is a responsive reading. How wonderful, O God, are the works of your hands. The heavens declare your glory. The arch of sky displays your handiworks.
In your love you have given us the power to behold the beauty of your world, robed in all its splendor. The sun and stars, the valleys and hills, the rivers and lakes, all disclose your presence.
The roaring breakers of the sea tell of your awesome might. The beasts of the field and the birds of the air bespeak your wondrous will.
In your goodness you have made us able to hear the music of the world, the raging of the winds, the whispering of trees and wood, and the precious voices of loved ones reveal to us that you are in our midst.
A divine voice sings through all creation. And we're going to continue with Ahavat Olam, which you all know, so join in.
Adonai, Adonai,
Yisrael. And that, of course, brings us to the Shema, which is on the screen, and all of the text will be there. And it's also starting on page 152 if you are looking for it in the prayer book. Please rise for the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha uv'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. And we're going to continue with a reading which is on the screen. It's on page 373 in the brackets, the blue square brackets. Oh, we missed that. How do you like that? We didn't talk about the brackets yet. It's on hiatus. The brackets are on hiatus. I'm going to look all that up in the dictionary and see if that's even possible.
Next one is March. That starts in
Okay, well, we're on page 373. And I have to say, this is a reading I have always loved, and I thought I couldn't find it in this prayer book when they published the new prayer book a long time ago now. But here it is, and I hope you find it as meaningful as I do. I, the Eternal, have called you to righteousness and taken you by the hand and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light of nations.
We are Israel, witness to the covenant between God and God's children.
This is the covenant I make with Israel. I will place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I will be your God, and you shall be my people.
We are Israel. Our Torah forbids the worship of race or nation, possessions or power.
You who worship gods that cannot save you, hear the words of the Eternal One. I am God, there is none else.
We are Israel. Our prophets proclaimed an exalted vision
Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice well up as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. You shall not oppress your neighbors nor rob them. You shall not stand idle while your neighbor bleeds.
We are Israel, taught to beat swords into plowshares, commanded to pursue peace.
Violence shall no longer be heard in your land, desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children will be taught of your God, and great shall be the peace of your children.
We are Israel, O God, when we are witnesses to your love and messengers of your truth.
What did you think about that last phrase? We are Israel, O God, when we are witnesses to your love and messengers of your truth. What is that saying right there? Does that mean we are not Israel when we don't live up to that standard? Is that what it means?
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
Doesn't it sound that way? Mm-hmm. We are Israel, O God, when we are witnesses to your love and messengers of your truth. Mm-hmm. We're going to continue with Michamocha. Reading which is on the screen and on page 161, if you're looking for it. Let's read together. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. And we're going to continue with Hashkivenu. We're going to continue now with the central prayer of every Jewish service, which is going to be the Amidah, of course. It begins on page 164 in the prayer book. All of the texts will be on the screen. We invite you now to please rise. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chazdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah, Rav lo shia, Mashiva ruach u'morida gashem, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. And we continue now on page 172. The text is on the screen. Let's read together. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. And we continue on page 174. Please read with me. Find favor, Adonai our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer in love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us. Eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shechinato l'Tzion. And on page 177, we read together, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulechana lohodot. And we're going to continue now with some music. You're on holy ground.
When you hurt, when you heal, when you laugh, when you pray, when you doubt, when you keep, when you give it away. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, everything, everyone, every place, every way, where you stand, where you walk, where you love, where you praise, all of it is holy land. Can you feel the holy ground? Shoes off, you're on
ground.
Take this opportunity, please, to pray privately. The traditional text is on the screen in translation. It's on page 180 in the Hebrew, and on 181 there are alternate readings. Please take this opportunity to pray privately. At this point in the service, we usually stop to offer prayers for the well-being of congregants and for others as well. And for the last 5 months, Can you believe that? 5 months. We've stopped at this point to offer a special prayer for the hostages and for the families of the hostages and for the soldiers of the Israel Defense Force and for the families of the Israel Defense Force soldiers and for all of the people of the State of Israel. I was reading something just the other day, and the comment was that everybody in Israel knows somebody who was taken hostage or knows somebody who's related to somebody who was taken hostage. And everybody knows somebody who is in the military right now, and everybody knows somebody who has lost somebody in the military in this 5-month experience. Israel is a tiny little country, and people are that connected. And so we here are working at being as connected with the situation and with those people as they are. For the last 5 months, we've had 2 seats in the middle of our sanctuary reserved for the hostages and covered with talitot. Nobody sits in them. Nobody even asks why these days anymore, but that's why those seats are there. And we are wearing our blue ribbons. The Blue Ribbon campaign is not about making other people ask us why we're wearing the blue ribbons. It's about why we're wearing the blue ribbons. And we're wearing the ribbons to remind ourselves all the time about the hostages. Because it's very easy, since we are not in Israel and we are not as connected to the situation as they are, it's very easy to go through the day and not think about these people. But I want you to be thinking about them. I want you to think about, where are they right now? They're underground. If they're still alive, which is also a good question, if they're still alive, they're underground. And some of them have not seen the light of day since the 7th of October. We found out recently, I don't know if you've been following this, we found out recently that a shipment of medication, prescription medication for specific individuals, has been discovered in the trash in one of the tunnels. A whole batch of prescriptions that were shipped in by the United Nations in the trash in one of the tunnels. And just this week, another whole shipment went in. Who knows what happened to that? Prescriptions specific to specific people. And I am working for myself to be conscious of our connection with those people, the hostages and their families. I'm doing that because I need to be constantly reminded it's too easy to do what we ordinarily do and forget about it. And we should not do that. We should not do that. So I'm going to ask you to do 2 things. I'm going to ask you to make sure you have a blue ribbon and to wear it. We have more. There are some out in the vestibule, and I will put out more. If there aren't any there when you go to take one, talk to me, but don't walk out without a blue ribbon if you don't have one. If you have one, wear it. Don't walk out of your house without it. It's not about whether people will ask you why you're wearing it. It's to remind you of why you're wearing it, in solidarity with those people. And we have said we will wear them till we know the fate of all of the hostages. So I'm going to ask you to make sure you do that. So we have added a little extra moment in this part of the service, and the text is going to be on the screen, I think, yes? Lu Yehi? Are they saying that?
You're saying yes.
They're saying yes? Are you saying yes out there?
Yes, they said yes.
Yes. All this high tech and the communication between here and there is.
But Rabbi, you would have seen it wasn't there at rehearsal, so you know it was there.
You think I can remember back to Wednesday? There it is, Lu Yehi. So I want you to sing the chorus with Yuri and Rachel, and the chorus is Lu Yehi, Anna, Lu Yehi. Lu Yehi means may it be, let it be. Anna, please, let it be. Kol shenivakesh, all that we ask for, Lu Yehi, let it be. And what is it that we're asking for? We're asking for the release of the hostages, all of them, and the return of the bodies. We're asking for the end to the war. We're asking for peace for the people of Gaza. We are not praying for more destruction and chaos and bedlam in Gaza. We are not. We are praying for peace for them and for us, and for the hostages. Lu Yehi.
יש מפרש לבן באופק, מול ענן שחור כבד, כל שנבקש לו יהי. ואם בחלונות הערב, ונרות החג רועד, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו שנבקש, לו יהי, לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש, לו יהי, לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש, לו יהי, לו יהי.
And we are going to continue now with the traditional part of the Mishaberach prayer. And we begin by offering prayers for members of the congregation. We are praying this week for Beverly Adler, Robert Berg, Shirley Bergman, Elaine Bialer, Barry Brown, Andrea Chasen, Marianne Fink, Batsheva Sarah Gamaran, Arnie Goldklang, Richard Hoffing, Liz Jacobs, Harry Jones, Janine Jones, Marcia Katz, Verdna Kelly, Carolyn Corlin, Wilma Levine, Marvin Lutzker, Marlis Markovitz, Paula Newberger, Ron Newberger, Leslie Rapkin, Fanny Reese, Cliff Reese, Rick Reingold, Betty Sarlin, Jacqueline Schindler, Mark Schoenholtz, Maxine Schoenholtz, Barry Schwartz, Joe Sheff, Jeff Sturm, Stephen Tabin, Norman Toff, Don Zion, Stanley Zarofsky, Leslie Zwain, Amit Ben Shirley, Ariel Bat Rivka, Ariella Bat Shoshana, Chana Pesa Bat Golda, Chava Bat Esther Malka, Chaya Esther Bat Chana, Devorah Bat Ruth, Devorah Bat Sarah, Esther Badana Bat Shena Malka, Vega Devasher Bat Bracha, Heshle Ben Devorah, Yosef Shmuel Ben Bertha, Leb Shalom Ben Fagel, Manya Bat Fredel, Masha Bat Esther, Masha Sarah Bat Chana, Menachem Ben Frima, Mindela Bat Frima, Miriam Bat Thelma, Mordechai Ben Sarah, Moshe Hersh Ben Rachel, Pesach Lev Ben Sarah, Sarah Mindel Bat Chana Leah, Bracha Bat Shirley, Shalom Ben Pesel, Shaul Yochanan Ben Sarah, Shena Bracha Bat Yudit, Shena Leah Bat Devorah, Shirley Bat Sarah, Shulamit Bat Zilla, Simcha Reb Tzvi Ben Sarah, Cyril Reza Bat Esther, Velvel Ben Hindabela, and Yonatan Ben Chassia. Now I'm going to offer you the opportunity to offer prayers for the people who are on your own personal Mishaberach list. And as you do so, I invite you to articulate the names silently. Please take this time to do that. While we're offering prayers, once again, I invite you to offer prayers for people in this country in particular, but elsewhere as well, of course, who are dealing with the aftermath of gun violence. And I invite you to offer prayers for people in this country, in our community, and anywhere who are suffering currently from the coronavirus, which is spreading again. And we offer prayers for people anywhere in the world dealing with the effects of climate change. We need to offer prayers for our country, which needs to heal from the divisiveness we are experiencing, needs to recommit to the principles of its founding. We need to offer prayers for that little state of Israel and for the people of the Gaza Strip. And we need to offer prayers for our planet, which for the first time in 50 years is being seen by a space vehicle that landed on the moon. It's being seen from the moon once again. So let's offer prayers for all of those and for the people who are on your personal Mishaberach list, and let's continue with the music. It is true that there isn't going to be a Torah service this evening, but for those of you who may be feeling shortchanged, let me tell you that there will be a Torah service tomorrow morning. We have a Shabbat morning service twice a month, and on those weekends we read Torah on Shabbat morning, but not Friday evening, and if it isn't one of those weekends, then we read Torah on Friday evenings. Got that? Good, because it's taken many of us quite a while to sort that out. The idea, of course, is that we will read Torah every Shabbat, and we do. But we're right now in a stretch of Torah that is challenging. No, we're not in Leviticus yet. We're coming to Leviticus, but as I said a few weeks ago, from the 10 Commandments, it's downhill. And the 10 Commandments are chapter 20 of the book of Exodus, and there are 30-some chapters in the book of Exodus. And we are in the whole part of the book of Exodus, which is about the building of the Mishkan. This is the portable sanctuary that the Israelites did or didn't schlep through the wilderness, depending on whether you believe all of the things that are in the book of Exodus or you have a different understanding of what that's all about. But the instructions for the building of the Mishkan are very, very detailed. And first it says that God tells Moses, this is what you're going to tell them to do. And then it says, and this is what they did. And if it occurs in part 1, it will occur in part 2 in great detail. And not all of us find that uplifting. I did have one congregant in Plattsburgh, New York, who did find that very uplifting, all of that. She loved it. And the reason she loved it is that every once in a while, she gets this thing and she has to rearrange the furniture in her house. And she found this inspiring in the Torah. But she's the only one I've ever known who found it inspiring. And the interesting thing about this juxtaposition of first it says what you're going to do, and then it says what they did, and of course they match completely, is that there is a linchpin in the middle. And it's a very short verse. And it says, Ach et Shabtotai tishmoru, but my Sabbaths you will observe. So first it says, this is what you're going to do. And then it says, but you're going to observe my Sabbaths. And then it says, this is what they did. And the rabbis of old said, what we're not supposed to do on the Sabbath is the work that goes into the building of the Mishkan. This is what you're going to do, but you will observe my Sabbaths. And they did. So what all went into the building of the Mishkan? Well, the rabbis went through all of this, and they came up with a list of major categories of labor. Things like starting a fire. Now, why would they start a fire for the building of the Mishkan? Because they were creating a lot of stuff that was overlaid with gold, and the gold had to be melted to do that kind of thing. And they had to draw plans so that because the instructions in the Torah for the building of the Mishkan are right down to the cubit. Yes, we know how big for example, the Ark of the Covenant was supposed to be by the cubit. And they had to make sure the thing they did matched. So they had to draw plans out. And so they had to have pencils. Well, maybe not pencils, but they had to have something that they could make markings with. And so they had to sharpen those. How do you do that? With a knife? Not on Shabbat. And so there were 39 categories of labor that were prohibited on Shabbat. And if it had stopped there, we would have been okay. But it didn't stop there. Because you see, you can subdivide the categories. So if it says that you're not supposed to start a fire on Shabbat, can you use a microwave oven? Well, a microwave oven doesn't involve a fire, so that isn't the issue. What is the issue with the microwave oven? Electricity, which the rabbis said is just another way of starting a fire. So now we have, under the heading of electricity, what things can we not do? You can't turn the oven on, but if the oven is on and you don't turn it off, it is permissible to adjust the temperature. Yes, really, but you have to leave the oven on, and God help the person who accidentally turns it off. In fact, years ago, we bought an oven. We were remodeling our kitchen, and we bought a new oven for the kitchen. And it was there, and it was installed, and it was a piece of wonder, and it had a Shabbat setting on it. Yeah? A Shabbat, this was a Sears oven. What is a Sears oven doing with a Shabbat setting? What is the Shabbat setting? It is a lock, so you cannot accidentally turn it on. It's a lock. No, refrigerators don't operate that way. You have to turn the light bulb. Now they do. But at that time, the refrigerator we bought, the brand new refrigerator to go with this Shabbat oven, which we didn't intend to buy, but there you are. And how many ignorant non-Jews have bought ovens with Shabbat settings on them? But now there is a setting so you can adjust but up until now, that you have to twist the light bulb so that when you open the door of the refrigerator, you do not trigger the electricity. It's not that you turn on the cooling or anything like that, because that, as you know, works on a computer. That's programmed, just like your air conditioning and your heat. Did you try your heat this week? So, it's the electricity that is the issue. Now, here's a question for you. Is there anybody here who has an electronic reader? Put your hand up if you have an electronic reader. Oh, there's a few people here. Huh? What? A Kindle, something like that. Yeah. You have one, okay. So if you charge it on Friday, and it's fully charged, right? And then Shabbat afternoon, that blessed time when you don't have to do anything else, you start reading and you run out of juice. What happens? You're done.
Stuck, stay stuck.
What?
Stuck, stay stuck.
Stuck, stay stuck. That's right. That's it. You're done. You can't read anymore. Right? Which tells us all that God didn't mean us to read from electronic devices, because a book keeps on going, right? But you can't plug it in once you've unplugged it. If you leave it, but if you can set it up so it's plugged in, yes. So there are all kinds of things people can do today to get around this business of starting that fire. Have you got any kind of lamp in your house that you can program? Timers. Yes, lots of people. Do you have a lamp you can turn on by going like this? But you could, and Orthodox Jews have had them for years, because it's a way of, yes, turn on the lamp, turn it off. Can you ask Alexa to turn on the lamp?
That's a good question.
This is what? Alexa is the Shabbos Goy, yes. Yes, you can ask Alexa to do that, because all you're doing is speaking.
Yeah, but she'll say, no, it's the Sabbath.
That's right. No, she won't answer you. She's on Shabbat. She won't answer you at all. Well, what this tells you is that if you're going to get an Alexa, you have to find out her religious inclinations. But the reality is that the section that we are in the Torah, this week in particular, is about the making of the garments for the high priest, and the detail in it is astounding. And we ask ourselves, we don't have a high priest anymore, and we don't have a temple where the high priest does his thing. So why do we need to pay attention to these details? And the answer is that in its moment, it was creating something. It was creating a whole new religion which had never been practiced before. Judaism did not exist until the Torah brought it into existence, because there's all sorts of commandments in the Torah that don't exist anywhere else. And so it became necessary to focus people on the how to do it and do it right. And that's what the part that we're in right now in the Torah is teaching us, to pay attention and do it right. And what is the motivation to do it right? To do the right thing, yes, but always to rise to the highest possible level. And if that means what it says about the high priest, that he should be wearing garments made out of linen and made with colors, the colors in the high priest's garments are up there. Do you see red? Do you see purple? Yeah, the purple is in the frame around the star. If it's in daylight, it's clearer. But do you see the purple? Yep. And blue? Yep. Okay. Purple, blue is Techelet, purple is Argaman, and red is Tolat Shani. And those are the colors of that the high priest wears. What?
What about light?
That's just light. That's
The color of
the star. The star itself is extraneous, so it's just for decoration. But the colors are there. Isn't that interesting? Did you? A very bright, colorful ensemble. And keep in mind this little detail. The rest of the people wore garments made out of linen, cotton, and wool. What are the colors of raw linen, cotton, and wool? Beige. Yeah, beige. That's what people were wearing. So the high priest was intended to stand out. And he was intended to enable the community to rise to its highest potential. And that's why we pay attention even now, though there are all these details that don't mean much to us. That's why we continue to pay attention. We are challenged to make use of all of this and to rise, bring ourselves up to the highest possible level. And that's what the high priest was doing, and there you have it. We are going to continue now on page 586 with the Aleinu. Please rise. I know it's here. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. We read together. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad. Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This Shabbat, we are remembering Louis Lawrence Garrell, father of Eleanor Berger, Jesse Lee Dogan, husband of Susan Dogan, Elaine Cohen, mother of Eileen Friedel, Sheldon Lee Hollander, brother of Marcia Fader and Mervyn Hollander, Jenny Kemp, grandmother of Sandy Goldstein, Harry Guzinski, father of Robert Guzinski, Rose Krasnick, mother of Mark Krasnick, Isidore Udowin, grandfather of Erica Lino, Rebecca Kirschner, mother of Natalie Meltzer, Milton Meyer, father of Michael Meyer, Ann Mostov, mother of Donald Mostov, Douglas Cole, brother of Barbara Nova, Anita Perrion, mother-in-law of Deb Perrion, Clara Tabin, mother of Stephen Tabin, Cookie Tabin, wife of Stephen Tabin, Harry Zions, father of Sam Zions, Rosalind Shapiro, Robin Dory Goldman, and Ruth Miller. And tonight we will conclude the counting of Shloshim for Melvin Schwab, brother of Debbie Seitz. In addition, we have taken to counting, including in our recitation of Kaddish, the remembrance of some of the people who died during the Holocaust. We know that every day of the year during the period of time that we call the Holocaust, Jews died. And so we are remembering them in order to make the remembrance of the Holocaust more real to ourselves. And so I'm going to read now the list of some people who died. Most of them are from Bulgaria. One is from Yugoslavia. Avram Almusnino, Naftali Almusnino, Simon Almusnino, Netika Altarak, Buka Altarak, Jack Amado, Moshe Amar, Ben Anavi, Eliezer Araf, and Elisa Arav. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Kaddish is on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabba, v'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam l'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shmei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlomo rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Please be seated. Ricky, did you want me to make that announcement now? Okay, so when we adjourn in a few minutes to the social hall, I want to ask you to let me get through there first so that I can be in a position to say the bracha before we eat. If you get into the social hall, we don't eat until the bracha is said, right? So please give me an opportunity to get back there, and please remember that. Hi, Diane, you're back.
Yes.
As promised.
Before this, can you hear me now? Okay, because they said they couldn't hear me. All right, I want to thank the rabbi and all the participants on the beamer and the choir who were magnificent. We really enjoyed your service, and of course the tech team.
The tech team, yay.
Right. Classes will be as usual next week. Tomorrow, as the rabbi said, there will be a service. It'll be at 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Lunch at 11:30, and Torah service.
Torah study.
Torah study. I just don't like being on the beamer, but that's.
You know, Diane, that's okay. You don't have to like being here, but you got to read the announcements right.
Right. Okay. Well, that's why I have you.
Oh, that's right. I'm your gabbai.
That's right.
it.
All right. That's going to be on online and I guess in person and on Zoom at 12 o'clock.
Okay, so let's just go back over that for a
Okay.
moment. The service is in person only on Shabbat morning, and we
Right.
need your help to make the minyan. Some of our regulars are not going to be available, so would you please make an effort to be here if you can? And the lunch and Torah study are in person and on Zoom, and the link went out today, so you can find it, and you have permission to use electricity.
All right. Next month, March, is a very, very busy month. And so I'm just going to be very brief because most of the things you can see either in the calendar on the Sholem News or any of the announcements that come via the
Email.
internet, whatever. All right. On Sunday, March 4th at 2 p.m., we are going to have our first picnic. And if that is a rain date, then the picnic will be on March the 10th. All right, and it's for members only.
Members only, yes.
Okay. There'll be a sisterhood program on March 5th at 1 p.m.
Wait. Sisterhood program on March 5th?
Yes. Yes, March 5th.
Monday?
No, it's
That's
Tuesday.
a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
So March 4th is then Monday.
yes.
And that's the date you just said that the Sunday picnic is going to be.
Oh, so I'm sorry, it must be March 3rd.
Yes, that's where I was going.
Well,
The
you see-
picnic is on the 3rd.
It's on the 3rd, okay. I can't even write down the correct stuff, but I'll try. I try.
You're doing fine. Just keep going.
Okay. The men's club will be having a financial luncheon sponsored by the Wells Fargo Financial on March the 13th at 11 a.m. And I guess you have to let them know if you're coming or not. There's going to be a library program on March 18th at 10:30. And the Purim Spiel will be, which is Esther Ella,
Estrella, yes.
yes, on March 24th at
March
1
20
p.m.
Yes.
And any board meetings or sisterhood meetings or men clubs meeting, you can read that in the Sholem News, the time, and whatever. And I want to ask anybody if they have any simchas.
Oh, John has a simcha.
It's a simcha for everybody. One of our favorite bands that the rabbi puts up and plays music all the time, Nefesh Mountain,
Yeah?
is playing at the Tarpon Springs Arts, Tarpon Arts
Yes, when?
tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
No kidding.
Yep, Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Woo!
September. So if anybody feels like driving over there at 7 p.m. tomorrow night, they're at the Tarpon.
That sounds like,
Tarpon Arts Center.
okay, that sounds like a road trip.
Anybody else?
Yes.
I'm gonna mention that.
Please pick them up, they're on the
Susie, you can't be heard, so we have to do it from here.
We have, the Sholem News is available. It's on the table in the vestibule, so please pick it up before you leave or before you go into the social hall.
But that is only for members. If you're not a temple member yet, it won't be there. This is, and if you don't receive it in print, if you get it online, it won't be there either. So
It's
only take it if it's got your name on it.
It's already online, so if you,
Yeah,
you can,
it's
it was sent
available
out
online.
sometime this week.
Right.
I think that's it.
Yes, if you have neighbors you can deliver to, that would be a big help too. Save us postage. Are you done then?
I think so. Till next time.
Thank you, Diane. As always, a treat. We're going to conclude with Ein Keloheinu. Let's do it. Okay, the last thought. Please turn on your cell phones, Rochelle Lafer. I'm on my way to the social hall.